Welcome back to the Creepy Marathon Month, the series in which we honour our love for Halloween and upload a daily creepy video throughout October. This volume includes a mixed bag of scary stories, from paranormal images, UFO footage, to a deeply disturbing mystery that has some strange video footage attached to it. And as always, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. The Ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, may have passed away in 1865 after being assassinated, but numerous accounts suggest that his spirit never truly left the White House. Known as the White House Ghost, his ghostly presence has been far from hidden. He is most frequently seen in the Yellow Oval Room and the Lincoln Bedroom, where his spirit serves as a solemn reminder of his enduring legacy. Notable sightings include First Lady Grace Coolidge, who reported seeing Lincoln standing by a window in the Lincoln Bedroom, gazing out over the Potomac River. Lady Bird Johnson, while watching a documentary about Lincoln's death, felt a sudden and inexplicable presence that she believed was his, and even pets have been spooked. Ronald Reagan's dog Rex often barked and refused to enter the Lincoln Bedroom, which the president attributed to the dog seeing Lincoln's spirit. Perhaps the most famous encounter occurred when Winston Churchill visited the White House during World War II. After emerging from a bath, completely nude, Churchill found himself face to face with Lincoln's apparition. Unfazed, he quipped, "Good evening, Mr. President. You seem to have met me at a disadvantage." Other witnesses include President Theodore Roosevelt and Eleanor Roosevelt, who have also recounted experiences with Lincoln's spirit. And as recently as 1980, Tony Savoy, a White House foreman, claimed to have seen Lincoln sitting in a chair. So when William H. Mumler, a spirit photographer, captured an image of Lincoln's spirit standing behind his seated widow, Mary Todd Lincoln, with his hands on her shoulders, no one who had encountered Lincoln after his death questioned the authenticity of the photograph. Take a look at this. Mumler was a well-known practitioner of spirit photography in the mid-19th century. His reputation for capturing ghostly apparitions began with a self-portrait that appeared to include the spirit of a deceased cousin. As word spread, he attracted mourners, hoping to capture images of their departed loved ones. 7 years after the death of her husband, Mary Todd Lincoln, still grieving, submitted a photo request to Mumler under a pseudonym. After the image was developed, Mary acknowledged that the figure behind her was her deceased husband. At that time, the photograph gained huge attention. However, Mumler's work was controversial and ultimately led to a fraud case against him in 1869, although crucially, no conclusive proof of trickery was ever established. Today, the Ghost of Abraham Lincoln photograph is regarded by some as one of the most famous photographic hoaxes of the 19th century. To others, it's definitive proof that Abraham Lincoln's spirit was captured in the image, and confirms that those who claim to have seen his ghost are telling the truth. What do you make of this one? Now let's take a slight detour from the paranormal and take a look at an incredible piece of UFO footage that you may never have seen before. It's a clear video of an alleged UFO reported to be hovering over Paris in April 2017. The footage gained media attention after being posted on the popular YouTube channel Secure Team 10, which claimed that it was sent to them by a viewer, although unfortunately, not much else is known about the video. The object has been compared to similar sightings in China in 2010 and on the Gold Coast in Australia in 2014. However, there appears to be little follow-up or investigation into its true nature, and the person who originally sent in the footage has never come forward or spoken about it. Take a look. Now, we all know Paris is a big, busy place, and if this incident did occur, then many others may have witnessed it. If it's the real thing, then it's incredible. However, there is of course some doubt, as it does look too good to be true. What are your thoughts on this one? John Lang. John Lang was an activist based in Fresno, California. Well, in 2009, he uncovered some shady dealings involving the Fresno Police Department and frequently wrote articles about his investigations in the local newspaper, the Fresno Bee, under the pseudonym John 21. In his blog, John stated that Fresno law enforcement was using unmarked cars to enter private retail parking lots in high crime areas. They would scan vehicle license plates to identify any outstanding warrants or traffic tickets. This information would then be relayed to marked police cars, which would subsequently pull over the drivers. Although this practice was not technically illegal, it was considered unethical and generated substantial revenue for the department at minimal cost. The Fresno Police Department has a long history of corruption. Over the years, there have been accusations of misconduct, including cases of violence, drug trafficking and bribery. In the 10 years leading up to 2016, more than 200 lawsuits were filed against the department for excessive force, with half of them dismissed. After accusing the Fresno police of the license plate scam, John complained of systemic intimidation and harassment. He used Twitter to document these incidents, but many people dismissed his claims as paranoia or delusion. To protect himself, he installed security cameras and began uploading the footage to his YouTube channel. After Lang had filed a complaint with the Internal Affairs Department, one video shows 2 police cars and 8 officers hanging around outside his home in a blatant show of intimidation. Lang was sure that his neighbour and a work colleague were also keeping tabs on him for the police. On January 14, 2016, Lang tweeted a worrying message. It was quickly followed up by another. On January 20th, the fire department was called to Lang's house, where his body was found dead. A police lieutenant informed the press that Lang had been stabbed multiple times in the back and chest, and that his house had been set on fire. However, later statements from a police spokesperson altered the narrative, claiming that the stab wounds were superficial and self-inflicted. Lang's death was ultimately ruled a suicide, attributed to inhalation of smoke and soot, with the stab wounds considered a contributing factor. So did John Lang experience a mental breakdown and take his own life due to overwhelming pressure? Was he suffering from a mental illness that led to paranoia? Or could he have been murdered by a police force with a long history of corruption? What do you make of this one? Cemetery Ghost. Let's take a trip back to the paranormal and take a look at an early internet ghost scare that was allegedly captured after midnight in a Mexican cemetery. A man ventured there alone at night after hearing rumours from a nearby village about a girl who had been heard crying and calling out amongst the gravestones. The following footage was recorded around 1:30 AM and is truly terrifying. The man definitely got more than he bargained for. Take a look at this.
Amiga! Niña! Ay, no seas imbécil.
Could you hear the scream and someone say mama? As was normal back in the early days of YouTube, the quality is pretty poor. What do you make of it? Take another look.
Amiga! Niña! Ay, no seas imbécil.
Grave Robbing for Morons. The Grave Robbing for Morons video is one of the most unsettling internet mysteries out there, that straddles the realms of horror, folklore and true crime. The video, originally recorded on VHS tape, first surfaced online in the mid-2000s, although its existence was known as early as 2003, when it appeared on a now defunct website called Shocking Videos, which specialized in VHS horror. Later it was included in a compilation DVD titled Ensuring Your Place in Hell, alongside other bizarre and morbid shorts. From there, the video spread across various message boards and YouTube channels, and became a staple in discussions about lost media online. The video was not originally titled Grave Robbing for Morons, but that name was given to it by tape traders and internet archivists. The disturbing footage features a young man with a New York accent and a noticeable stutter, sitting in front of a camera while holding a skull, while calmly providing instructions on how to rob graves, detailing methods for digging up bodies, cleaning bones, concealing evidence, and even planning big hits. The video is 36 minutes long, although it's believed to have been edited from a longer original version. If you've not already seen it, here is an example of what it's about.
Alright, if it's a male, you might have lines like that from the baldness, okay? Now, so what you do is you grab it around here. You grab it here and peel it back like that, okay? Peel it back alright? And it'll pull off, it'll make a disgusting sound. So let's say, alright, so other than that, it's virtually easy. It's a nice business if you find the right people to buy. Alright, see, it's like your first four or five graves, they're gonna be fun, but after a while you're gonna be like, I want money for this. And so you find somebody who's like, you know, who wants this person. Alright, so like, it's like if you want a Melvis or something, you get at least $1 million for it. Alright, if you want Marilyn Monroe, at least get $1 million for it. You know, you get high prices. The more famous they are, get the most high prices. Alright, so if that person really wants it, they will get that money. Or else otherwise it's not worth it. And always ask for money up front.
The way the individual casually describes how to rob graves is chilling, almost as if he is offering a helpful tutorial for prospective grave robbers. He mentions Harry Houdini's grave in Queens, New York as a possible target. However, despite Houdini's grave being vandalized several times over the years, his body has never been taken, indicating that the individual never carried out this morbid act. On the table behind him, viewers have noticed an Evil Dead 2 VHS tape and an issue of Fangoria Horror FX, both of which did not appear until the late 1980s. This detail provides a clue about the earliest possible date the tape could have been filmed. Near the end of the recording, he starts to say, "This was made by Anthony Cass," before stopping himself and adding, "Forget the last name." This incomplete disclosure has fueled endless speculation about his identity. As for the skull he is holding, many have speculated that this is real due to the way the teeth appear to be set in, although others argue that it could easily be a convincing prop or a dental training model. Because nothing is known about who made the tape, speculation about the individual's identity has been rife. Some believe he is a genuine grave robber, casually documenting his methods, citing the level of detail in his tips and the plausibility of the skull being real. Others view it as an elaborate hoax or performance art piece, perhaps created by horror-obsessed teenagers or aspiring underground filmmakers aiming to shock their friends. Many names have been suggested regarding the person's identity, and some have claimed to know him, but no credible identification has ever been made, nor has any criminal case, police record, or news story surfaced. What is certain is that the tape is creepy and unsettling, and its mystery is strengthened by what we do not know, and what we probably never will. If you want to go down a rabbit hole tonight, start reading about this one. We'll include a link to the full video in the description and comment section below. Thanks for watching, sleep tight, and we'll see you tomorrow.